book and audio cassettes to accompany the BBC series Italianissimo 2 are available now from bookshops.
It has an anthem and a flag.
Joking.
It has a capital.
I'm not European, I'm English.
It is a country in the making, a country called Europe.
We had a referendum tomorrow. We'd be out of Europe by the end of April.
And just how long will our European partners give us? Britain's Waterloo, a major report, Panorama, tomorrow at 9:30 on BBC1.
For BBC1 Now, our Sunday morning rendezvous with news and views in Breakfast with Frost.
Hello, good morning and welcome to Breakfast with Frost. This weekend, most pundits seem to agree that the Prime Minister's election prospects look pretty bleak. But they'll be bleaker still if Sir James Goldsmith presses ahead with his plans for a new political party to contest virtually every seat on election day. The flamboyant multi-millionaire, named 6th in the list of richest men in Britain this morning in the Sunday Times, says he just wants to give people a chance to reject the Maastricht aim of an ever closer union on Europe. This morning we'll be asking him about the price he's prepared to pay and the price the Conservative Party may have to pay for his intervention. We'll also be investigating the latest sell-off. Tomorrow, Railtrack publishes its prospectus. Will Britain's railways be as safe and reliable in private hands? And how will they cope with Labour's threat to take them back into some form of public control? We'll be asking Railtrack's Chief Executive, Bob Horton. And 80 years of excellence. I could be talking about the BBC, but in fact, on the eve of Yehudi Menuhin's 80th birthday, we'll be talking to the legendary violinist and conductor about his work. But first this morning, a news summary. 21 years of excellence by Maura Stewart. Here she is with the news. Good morning, Maura.
Good morning. Police believe that terrorists were behind one of Northern Ireland's biggest armed robberies yesterday. Hundreds of thousands of pounds were stolen from a Securicorps van, while the driver's family was held at gunpoint by masked men claiming to be from the IRA. One man is being questioned by the police.
This is the security van from which the bags of cash in untraceable used banknotes were taken. Gunmen claiming to be from the IRA held the family of the driver captive, forcing him to go to the Securicorps depot in South Belfast and to pick up a large amount of money. The man and his assistant then drove to an isolated location on the outskirts of the city, where they were met by more armed and masked men who handcuffed and hooded them before taking the money and driving off.
Well, it's at an early stage in our inquiries, but we do believe that this robbery was carried out by members of a paramilitary organisation.
The police haven't revealed how much money is involved. All they will say is it was a substantial amount of cash in used notes which are not traceable. The RUC say it's the biggest robbery of its kind in the province in recent years.
Mervyn Jess, BBC News, Belfast.
Fighting has continued this morning in southern Lebanon. Hezbollah fighters fired more rockets into northern Israel in retaliation for renewed Israeli attacks. Israeli jets were in action at dawn today, hitting Nabatea and a village on the outskirts of the port of Tyre.
Hezbollah's Katyusha rockets have once again been landing in northern Israel. The militants' continued defiance suggests there'll be no early end to the cycle of violence. Israel's Prime Minister Shimon Peres has vowed to continue the bombardment of South Lebanon until Hezbollah ends its rocket attacks. In their latest warning, the Israelis have told people in the coastal city of Tyre to get out of town within the next hour. Yesterday's Israeli airstrike on a Lebanese ambulance which killed 6 civilians, including 4 little girls, and the effective expulsion of at least 200,000 South Lebanese residents from their homes cast serious doubt on Israel's claim that this is a highly precise anti-terror operation. With a grave humanitarian crisis now brewing, the Lebanese and Syrian governments are asking the international community for condemnation of the Israeli operation.
The man who's played a key role in organising the ban on British beef exports has said he would have no hesitation about eating it himself. The European Union Farm Minister, Franz Fischler, said the ban was imposed to prevent the collapse of the European beef market rather than for public health reasons. His remarks have angered some MPs and farmers' leaders. More than 400,000 people have signed a petition calling for a ban on the private ownership of guns and an urgent review of firearms legislation. The petition was organised by Scotland's Sunday Mail newspaper after the Dunblane shooting. The petition was started just 3 weeks ago. Golf, and Australia's Greg Norman has extended his lead in the US Masters at Augusta in Georgia to a commanding 6 shots ahead of Britain's Nick Faldo. Norman goes into today's final round 13 under par. In difficult windy conditions, Norman, who's never won at Augusta, scored a 1 under par 71. His rival for the lead, Nick Faldo, birdied the 8th to get within 3 shots of Norman, but finished with a 1 over par 73. That's it for now. I'll be back just before 9:30 with the headlines. Now back to you, David.
Thank you very much indeed, Maura. Many, many thanks, as ever. And a look at our Sunday papers here. Archer's 20 million election bet, says the Sunday Express. It's a wager. He's staking his terms, staking his personal fortune, it says here, by challenging Sir James Goldsmith. We'll come to that later because, as you know, Sir James Goldsmith's here this morning. Wonder what he thinks of that. The Observer, Whitehall forced to join Tory poll blitz. The News of the World promises sensational sex in 7 days. So we'll be counting the days to next Sunday, right? Next Sunday it all happens, folks. The Mail on Sunday, mother is expecting baby for daughter, the Queen at 70. Scotland on Sunday there. Underworld witnesses saw IRA bombers. 2 more Tories talk to Labour. 2 Tory MPs poised to defect, were poised to defect, we find in the text. And there, the Church of England offers divorce ceremonies. Do you take this woman? No, I don't. Is that a divorce ceremony? I don't know. With us to review the papers this morning, we have Rabbi Hugo Gryn. Welcome back. Lovely to have you with us. And welcome back also to Labour MP, Kate Hoey. Good morning, Kate. Good morning. Where are you going to start, Rabbi?
Well, I think one has to start really with what's happening in Israel. The reports, we just saw it on the news, it's awful because there is, when one hoped that there would be a reasonable peace process going, somehow too many forces are there trying to blow it off course. And of course, you know, the pictures are awful. The report in the Independent from Robert Fisk is